Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new chapter of My Hero Academia, which is on chapter 409. This chapter right here was actually pretty cool, and that bully douchebag whatsoever, Bakugo Katsuki, finally earned his title as Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite, or Great Murder God Explosion. I don't freaking know whatsoever, that kind of thing. Whatever. Anyways, this chapter right here was actually pretty cool. So, if anything else, let's just begin. We have to that we get to see a small flashback of Katsuki Bakugo being born from Mitsuki and Masaru, his parents whatsoever, and we get to know a little something. And we get to see how Bakugo talks about to Deku or Izuku. I'm gonna make all my skills my own and keep rising. My explosion can pull anything I want it to, that kind of thing. We have to it that Bakugo thinks in his mind, Izuku, I will no longer get in your way, And he gets ready to face up against All For One's attack whatsoever, and we have to it, All For One makes his crazy attack, and as for Bakugo, he thinks in his mind, please explode, please explode, please explode, he thinks in his mind, And all of a sudden, All For One gets exploded inside his mouth and body. He goes like, what the hell? What's going on? What's happening here? He's still far away. He's never done something like this. We have to it. Bakugo explains to All For One, my attacks actually get weaker in the rain, and my attacks get really weak in the rain. But I add a little something. I add a little shield around it to to send them off. I cover my explosive sweat drops with regular sweat drops and didn't activate them. So after a little time, they eventually mix together and explode from an outside stimulus. And we have to All For One realizes that he shot right in his mouth and he didn't even realize it himself. And we have to it, Bakugo explains to All For One, many people say I was always smart and clever. I only need one quirk compared to you, And we have to it that that Bakugo remembers what All Might told him, saying that the more damage he takes, the younger he becomes, And we had to All For One is feeling disarray because his powers are not listening to him. From all the damage, he could do one more shot, and then All For One screams out, this is my freaking story. Move it, you stupid side character. But Bakugo doesn't listen and launched a powerful How to Impact and causes a lot of damage to freaking All For One, etc. And we had to it that Bakugo continues his exploding freaking barrages onto All For One with his explosive attacks. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, this is just crazy, We have to it that Bakugo tells All For One that you're an idiot and just told him to shut up, I had enough of your goddamn mouth and so forth. We have to it that All For One thinks in his mind, what the hell is going on? I'm unable to mix any of my quirk factors together. This is not the explosions doing. Is it because my body's becoming young and frail or something? And we have to it, someone talks to All For One in the spirit world or his vestige world, saying, hey, as you brandish negative emotions, your control weakens. That's why I was able to hold this fan meeting of mine. Shigaraki was your downfall. While there was a vestige of Hawks' quirk being stolen, he ends up having I had everyone talk to me, that kind of thing. And he goes like, ha 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 ha, joke's on you. And we have to it that freaking Bakugo tells off All For One that this is our story, and he launches a powerful freaking slap of a exploding attack and smashes All For One down to the ground, while Bakugo's arm is in very bad tatters. I mean, if you remember correctly, Shigaraki and All For One crushed that arm very, very badly. So, I guess you could say Bakugo is in the same situation as Deku when he overuses his quirk, but, it is what it is. We had to it, All Might watches from afar while Bakugo's parents are watching in shock and awe and happiness and scared look whatsoever. And we have to it that everyone thinks in their mind, or All For One thinks All Might thinks in his mind, little by little, all the damage dealt by everyone, finally, you know? While Yoichi Shigaraki looks on in the Vestige world, seeing how his brother's being beaten right now, and I think All For One is not over yet, but all I know is like the guys like pretty much might be done and out, but not yet anyway until it's confirmed. And we have to it that Bakugo says like there's no way I could have won this alone whatsoever, you know? So from what I read and told right now is that My Hero Academia's next chapter won't be coming until like the 25th of December, which is pretty much Christmas Day. You get the idea, right? Yeah, whatsoever. And so forth. So overall in this chapter, without a lot of detail, it just shows a lot of Bakugo having to like outsmart freaking All For One. Like he literally outsmarted him by sending a bunch of sweat droplets somehow into All For One's mouth or body, and then it exploded right at the moment it had a right trigger whatsoever. And you know, freaking Bakugo launches a Howitzer Impact and barrages freaking All For One with a lot of his explosive attacks, you know, which I thought was pretty awesome and cool. And All For One can't seem to use his powers correctly because they all left him whatsoever, you know, because of Hawks' like Vestige. Hawks' quirk was in there saying, "Hey guys, come with me," kind of thing. And then freaking like Bakugo blasts All For One down to the ground, you know, you get the idea, and so forth. So right now it looks like, well, although I don't think Bakugo's out for the count, but I don't think All For One's done either, because right now Bakugo's hand, like his literally right hand, arm if anything, is in very bad tatters right now, which I think is pretty awesome, but I'm afraid depending on the situation he may have to lose that arm, or hopefully it'll be repaired by Eri, you know? You get the idea. Who knows? But one thing's for certain is that, like, Bakugo demolished All For One, but if it wasn't All For One being at his weakest, honestly, and people pitching in, causing a lot of damage to him, I'm afraid he would not have won. So, that aside, and, you know, All For One's quirks, you know, is not very much listening to him because obviously his duplicate does not give him much control anymore. And two, All For One's biggest mistake is stealing Hawks' like feather vestige quirk, because even Fierce Wings quirk, and that is on All For One. And I'm afraid this is gonna suck because I think once All For One dies, the quirks he stole would never return, I'm afraid, and that really sucks, but it is what it is. I'll just take it for a grain of salt. But you know, Hawks did his job as a hero, and I'm afraid he's gonna have to retire since he won't be able to have his Fierce Wings quirk anymore. Same could go for Ragdoll, like knowing she lost her Surge quirk, you know? I wish like there might be a way if All For One or Shigaraki dies, is that the quirks that were stolen can return to their owners, like respectively. But I'm afraid Horikoshi is not that kind of a person to do so. But who knows? Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, pretty awesome. Hawks' vestige, Fierce Wings vestige, was so awesome. Like, haha, joke's on you. Shigaraki, you being so obsessed going out to Shigaraki was your downfall. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.